So I've talked about how time is like repeating itself instead of like history. It's really time loops that are repeating itself that never like came to fruition or like were fully broken. Like with the Civil War, American Revolution, even the Civil Rights Movement, things like that. Like we always progressed forward, but we never broke free and like achieved full equality. It's the same thing with like the like kind of like psychedelic movement, like in the 70s and stuff, like how we almost broke through to like Christ consciousness. Like if you listen to like Alan Watts speeches or Terence McKenna or Ram Dass or any of the Timothy Leary, any of those types of like people and anybody in the 70s, like they all had Christ consciousness. Like it was, so it's been here for a while as well. Like this actually isn't like new information. It's just the way, it's just time to start actually applying it because like it's just time basically. It's just time for us to the convergence point is here now where everything is converging. All the time loops are converging. We can see all the time loops converging. Like all these things are repeating itself at the same time simultaneously. And so when we see something like that, that's what Terence McKenna called this time speeding up. What it really means is we're just seeing several different types of time loops that are coming to the surface at the exact same time rather than one at a time. And so, you know, because we have to break them all to create a new, so it's like we're getting sucked into a black hole essentially. We're getting to what my guides call a convergence point. And once we hit that convergence point, which we're starting to tip that way because we can already see the truths coming out and now the UFO files and you know, those types of things. And obviously we have all these star seeds awakening to Christ consciousness and the spiritual awakening going on and it becoming mainstream. Candace Owen talking about astral projection and Charlie was a prophet and then the Christians thinking that, you remember the fake Judgment Day that they had a couple months ago and they thought the Revelation situation was happening except for, and then people over here we've discovered sort of, yes, but it's actually like within just your own conscious awareness. It's not like some dude coming down from the sky, although there will be alien intervention is what I've been told. Bashar is also channeling that. Emily H. Eaton is also channeling that. There's several people channeling that open contact and aliens are going to happen. They've been seeding it into our subconscious since Roswell. You know, whistleblowers of underground military bases as well as whistleblowers of aliens deactivating nuclear warheads, which was seeding into our subconscious for future technology that they're going to have. They're going to deactivate radical souls down here, you know, that kind of stuff. Then there was Stephen Greer who came out with his CE5 events and exposing, you know, a lot of whistleblowers as well. And then now we've been having orb sightings, people having individual contact experiences, strange, bizarre things happening, Bigfoot sightings, mermaid sightings, oarfishes coming up, big, giant, you know, like once-in-a-lifetime weather events happening all the time, once-in-a-lifetime historical events happening all the time. Like, all of that stuff is just pointing to the fact that this is now going to kind of implode, and yet we have something in place and ready to go, which is open contact and outside intervention. And I've been told that's actually tied to the seventh dimension's ascension process, because each ascension, like in Yeshua's time, we were all together. We didn't have phones. We weren't separated. We would go down to the temples and we would talk to our astrologers and we talked to our tarot readers and we talked to our disciples and we talked to each other and convene and we found each other that way. Now it's through our phones on fucking TikTok and Facebook and at like raves and things like that. Like there's starseeds all over who connect in different ways, and but we're alone. We're a little bit more isolated. So it's like that's the next level up, you know, of ascension. Each ascension gets harder as you go into dimensions, and we're only going to the fifth dimension here. And so the seventh dimension challenge is actually that they have to find a way to come back in time to help us during this dimension, period, because their dimension starts to collapse and they realize it's because they have to come help stabilize us because there's been time manipulation with time travel is what I'm being told, which is what we get with CERN and the Hadron Collider and the Mandela Effect and Project Looking Glass. And that is also tied to Dolores Cannon when she talked about the fall of Atlantis. They were doing similar experiments. And so Jeffrey Epstein and friends were doing experiments, as we've seen. Not necessarily the same ones. So it's like, so again, time is repeating itself. Not necessarily history. Because history can never repeat itself because history is, it's a singular event. There's patterns that show up that are similar, but the exact historical event can never repeat itself. And so that's why they're having me get kind of more into saying time is repeating itself rather than history. But it's kind of the same thing. But they're saying there is like a subtle difference, so that's why they're having me say that now. So I think that's interesting. So that was tonight's download. That was a lot, but it was good. Good information I've been getting.